Hey guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to show you guys some tips or talk to you guys about some tips on thrifting. Some people may think thrifting is such a chore, but I personally think it's super fun to just find the diamond in the rough. So I thought I'd share with you guys my tips on what I do when I go thrifting myself. So without further ado, let's get to it. Actually, before we do that, please make sure you hit the like button down below if you're into videos like this and you want to know more. Okay, now without further ado, let's get started. So for tip number one, I would say dress comfortably. Wear clothes that you can throw on and off easily, but also don't wear anything too baggy. Just in case the store doesn't have a fitting room, then you might have to try things on while you're just at the store and throwing it on top of clothes that you already have on. Also, don't bring a giant bag with you because you don't want to lug around a bunch of stuff when you just need free hands. I usually wear a fairly small crossbody. Sometimes larger thrift stores will have carts, but more boutique-y, small town thrift stores usually don't. So make sure that you are comfortably holding your stuff around. Tip number two, shop by category. It can be overwhelming, especially when you go into a large place that's like a giant warehouse of just stuff. Most of the time, they are already separated by women's, men's, tops, skirts, pants, jeans, sweaters, tank tops, things like that. So just make sure you stick to one category and stay there until you feel like you've gone through everything or gone through as much as you could handle, and then move on to the next because you don't want to overwhelm yourself and like being scrambled all over the place. Just stay organized mentally because it can be very overwhelming. And for tip number three, search for stains and wear and tear while you're looking through everything. This is the part of the video where I get to the nitty gritty things about thrifting. Why is that so hard for me to say? I don't know. I'm gonna break this down to three parts while you're looking for shoes, clothes, and bags and accessories. There's like a fly either in my house or floating around my window because I see a shadow. Where is it? I'll start off with the clothes first. When you're looking for stains in clothes, I would say the best places to look: neckline, armpits, and for pants in the crotch area, because that's where it's just a little shady for me. And most of the time it's kind of just overlooked, and it shouldn't be because that's the most personal area on your article of clothing, so just keep an eye on that. In terms of wear and tear, keep an eye for the armpit area. Again, sometimes pilling starts there, mostly deodorant stains, which you can get out easily by a wash and some baby wipes, but pilling is kind of more of a pain in the butt to remove. In dresses, I would keep an eye out for the hemline because sometimes that falls apart, and also the side seams. Wow. Anyway, as I was saying, sometimes the side seams of the dress get stretched out either by the previous owner or just by people trying things on, and usually it's not super obvious until you like put it on yourself, because sometimes it's kind of hidden, it's inseamed, so you can't really see the hole. As for pants, especially jeans, of course, the crotch area, it gets pulled a lot. So by pulling, I mean sometimes it can create some like wrinkly looking things, and you don't really see them until you stare really hard at the pants. And usually where the stretching happens is in the front part of the crotch and the like seam where your butt sits, if you know what I'm talking about, like in between the pockets, you know. That's usually where a lot of pulling happens, just because, you know, we're humans, we got booties, and they stretch out your jeans sometimes. And if you stretch them a little bit too far, it causes some pulls in them. For shoes, finding a great pair at a thrift store and consignment shop is pretty hard, because for clothes, if it's a little too big, you can make it work. If it's a little too small, sometimes you can make it work. But for shoes, it's like, if it's too big, it won't fit. The places to look for stains on shoes are definitely the toes, especially on sandals. They're very obvious, most of the time very obvious on suede and like leather material, because they stain pretty easily from wear. But when you're looking at sneakers, it's not so obvious, so just keep an eye out and make sure you look inside the shoe very hard for no nasty staining. And of course, some like scuffing and stains on the toe cap of the shoe and the heels. If you're looking at sandals or like heels or whatever, just look out for stains from like dirt and just people wearing their shoes around. Like your shoes get really dirty after one wear, so yeah. When it comes to looking for some wear and tear, obviously check the toe cap, because I feel like that's where you just hit your foot often. Like when you're walking and you trip, there goes the toe cap of your shoe. What toe cap is like the front part of the shoe. Also look at the outsole, of course, and the heels. That's where a lot of damage happens, because that's where the shoe hits the ground. So that's pretty self-explanatory. For shoes, just really pay attention, because there could be a lot of hidden damages up in that shoe, and you will never know until you decide to put them on and walk out the door and realize you can't wear the shoes, and you're just going to be very, very, very upset, and we want to avoid that. Now, for bags and accessories, this is where the tricky part happens, because there's not too many obvious damages in purses when you're looking at them until you really like open things up and unbuckle things and look inside and open the pockets, things like that. So this is where you have to be really, really, really careful and have great attention to detail. For stains, obviously look all over the outside of the bag and inside for sure. We often forget the lining when you're looking in a bag. You don't want any chewed gum, used tampons, spat out food, old napkins, just there's a lot of things you can find in a purse. Trust me, I know. And it can get pretty gnarly in there, so always look inside the bag first, because honestly sometimes the inside of a bag makes it or breaks it for me. As for other stains on the outside, I would definitely look inside the crevices of your bag. You know, if the bag like folds on the sides, or it's like a bucket bag where it cinches at the top or something, just like stretch it out completely and make sure there are no stains in between the folds of the purse, because that's where a lot of dirt hides and never comes out. As for looking for like wear and tear in purses, make sure you're looking at the bottom of the bag as well. The feet of your purse is where a lot of damage is done, because that's what they're there for. Also, the corners are forgotten spots of a bag. The corners of your bag, they hit everything. They run into things when you swing around, and suddenly it rams into another person. And the straps, especially if it's a crossbody, even like a handbag, the top of your strap is where you're holding your purse the most, and that's where a lot of discoloration happens on handles, especially for leather pieces. If it's faux leather, that's where cracking starts first, because you're kind of like all the weight is on the top of that strap. And if it's a crossbody, I would definitely check out the two ends of your strap that connects to the purse. Sometimes the seaming starts to come apart, or even the piece of the purse under the leather, or usually this happens with like faux leather pieces, but the leather literally just breaks, and it's like pulling up from your straps, like taking on so much traction and heavy weight while you're carrying it around. When you're looking at it, just holding the purse, it looks like it's in place, but when you start actually using it, you pull it and you're like, damn, the strap's about to fall off any second now. I think, yeah, that's my last tip. Look at my notes. Yes, that is my last tip for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was truly helpful when you guys are off thrifting. I absolutely love it. I hope some of these tips can help the experience be a little bit more easy and enjoyable for you if you're not the type of person to be into thrifting. Sometimes people are a little freaked out about wearing clothes that belong to others, but I think it's really cool, and sometimes there are really cool stories to it. But anyway, I could talk on and on and on about finding cool things at a thrift store, but it's now time for you to find cool things at a thrift store. See what I did there? I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, please like the video, give it a thumbs up if you're into these kind of videos, and if you want to see more, please hit the like button down below if you're on Facebook, and if you're on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button also down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye! I feel a sneeze coming, of course. I feel like I spat all over my hair. I'm not wearing any lipstick. I'm gonna fix that.